Hi, we're Latvian Diaries Abroad. I'm Kitty.
I'm Liggy, and today we're talking about us.
Yes, we thought it's about time for us to tell a bit more about ourselves. Um, Lee, would you like to start telling us who are you now? What are you doing? What's up with
Uh,
life?
yes, so I am a Latvian woman living in Wales in Aberystwyth. I just turned 25 years old. Um, I came to Aberystwyth originally to do a university degree. I did graduate 2 years ago, and I did creative writing because I am a poet. At the moment, I am an unpublished poet, but I hope that changes this year. And Yes, I'm just figuring things out at the moment, trying to understand what I want from life and just trying to enjoy it. What about you, Kitty?
I am a human who is on self exploration path. I think I wrote this somewhere very recently, and I really like that. So I'm like, I'm a human, I'm a woman, I'm also Latvian, um, who is trying to dig deep into myself to really know who I am, um, and really live my true calling. Other than that, I am living in the UK, staying in Nottingham at the moment. I work as a marketing manager in a growing company. And in my free time, well, I can't believe, but I'm finally can really say it. I'm reading books and I like it. I'm doing some yoga. I like being in nature and yes, just learning more about myself and really like growing within me. I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's like, yeah, self development is my overall theme of life at the moment.
That sounds very beautiful.
Thank
It really
you.
does.
Even though it was a messy wording, but I hope you got the idea.
Yeah, so to understand us better, we thought maybe it would be best for us to tell you guys about our earliest memories. So, Kitty, do you maybe want to start with that?
Yes. Oh, I didn't. I knew we wrote these points down. I didn't really think about it. What I will be saying. Um, I would say. Oh, actually, I have a very cool memory, which I think is a memory. It's hard to tell now because I know that there have been some like memories, the things that I've done that my mom or someone else has been telling other people multiple times over and over again. So it's hard to tell if it's me remembering it or it's actually me remembering them talking about it. Anyways, apparently, when I was like, I couldn't be, I could like 3 or 4 years old, I saved my sister from drowning in a bucket full of water.
Oh,
And I remember, I remember very small bits. I remember my sister being close to this big, it wasn't a bucket, it was like a barrel. But it wasn't like very high enough, I guess, for a 1 or 2 year old to get close to. Anyways, yeah, and then I see my sister like kind of like leaning into it and kind of like falling with the head in the water. And I bet I was like panicky, but I kind of pulled her out. And then, and only then, I was like, because my mom was out somewhere outside. I think we had, we were staying in this, I think in my mother's, so my grandpa's place, and he used to have a well. So she, at that point in time, she was going for some water actually. I don't know. I don't know how it makes sense or it doesn't make sense, but anyway, she wasn't in the room. And after I pulled out my sister, I think I got her to the bed, and then I was like shouting and screaming for my mom. Like very like stressed and like I guess full of adrenaline kind of a thing. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I guess that is one of my earliest memories that I can fully recall. Well, there's another one actually. I remember somehow I must have been a lot smaller. I choked on a like a sugar candy You know,
Yeah.
the one that you're just kind of keeping in your mouth, like licking, and it's just sugar. And I remember, I don't know, people, I was with my family or someone in a gas station, and I specifically remember that. I was like having this candy, and all of a sudden it was going down my throat, and I was choking on it. those are
See,
those
yours
are
are
weird
like so
memories.
like filled with tragedy.
Yeah, so I feel like these are like very, I don't know, very little, like when I was very very small. Maybe, oh, actually, they keep coming to me. I remember potentially, I think, that I was in a hospital when my mom gave birth to my sister. I remember sitting on her bed and my dad being somewhere there and my mom sleeping in a bed, and I don't know, us talking about something about names or something. I have a feeling they made me pull out names, but I don't know if it's true. I would have to double check now. But I think I have this
Okay.
memory.
Okay. That's cool though.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I said I don't know if I'll have any, and now I gave you like three pretty interesting memories. I felt like.
Yeah. So
What
my
about you?
earliest one, it actually has to do with my sister's birth too. Um, so I was almost 3 years old, because, yeah, so it was just before I turned three. And I remember, like, I didn't know that it's like my sister's birthday, like the actual birthday. But like, after I've, like, told this memory to my parents, they were like, oh yeah, this is like the day that your birthday, like, sister was born. So basically, I remember sitting on like a windowsill and looking out the window and waiting for a car to arrive. And I remember looking to my left because at the time, so our kitchen was to the right of our bedroom, and I shared my bedroom with my brother. And I remember looking in the bedroom, and he was like ill, being in bed and like poorly. And then the car arrived, and it was like they took me to the school, and my grandma was like there as a teacher for some reason because she had already retired, but she went back. So I remember sitting in a classroom, um, in a maths classroom, like full of children, and I remember I was sitting there with my like books, which is basically just pictures, no words, and I remember flipping through them, and I remember it was like The Lion King or something, and I was like flipping through them, and I think I said something funny because I remember the whole class laughing and the children like loving me, and it just like fills me with so much joy. And then after my grandma died, I remember my maths teacher was like close with her, so I remember before the class started, before like it was the first class of the day, I pulled her in the room and I was like, "Hey, my grandma passed away last night," and she was like so sad, and then she started the lesson with like this whole amazing speech about my grandma, and she was like, we're gonna take like a moment of silence, and I'm gonna light a candle, and I'm gonna tell you about this amazing human being. And I was just stood there like crying, and she basically said, it like went full circle for me in that moment, because this maths teacher, my teacher who was teaching me maths, she was like, oh, so when I was pregnant, I just started teaching and nobody would want to like replace me, and then this brilliant woman, she said, okay, I am retired and like I'm waiting for my granddaughter to arrive, but yes, I'll come and teach for you just so you could like have some time away because obviously you're giving birth too. So basically, because of this teacher being pregnant was the reason why my grandma was in the school and why I do have this like memory. And I remember when she was speaking, I was just sat there crying because like I was like I remember being in the classroom because of this teacher. I don't know. It was just like it was like it was meant to
Oh,
be. I don't know. It just like made me feel so loved, and like my grandma was still there although she had just died in the morning, and I don't know, a full circle. And now that I'm about to like maybe do maths myself in open university, because like that's one of my passions too, runs in the blood, I guess. It's just like I don't know, it makes more sense to me. But yeah, that is like one of the earliest memory I have, and it just like I don't know, it makes me happy.
that is just wow! I got chills. I got actual chills. That was very beautiful. I think. Wow. Now that is a very loving memory. I think that's
Yeah.
cute. Look at you. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy to be like we were very young. Like I genuinely like the fact that we remember something around 3 years old. That's insane. That's actually wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
But it
especially
is like
some
traumatic
traumatic events.
memories. That's why
Yeah,
we remember them.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's for sure. Okay, okay. Well, we gave you a few pieces of some beautiful memories. I guess we can just kind of lean into like our childhood overall. Um, would you like to kind of lead the way,
I,
Liggy?
I can start, yes. So I was born in Sigulda and I stayed there for 19 years of my life. Um, and it's like the most gorgeous city slash town, whatever you want to call it, you'll ever visit. Like, it's the most beautiful place on this earth, and I still miss it dearly. Um, but it's like a small town for people from UK. Because I remember I called it a city, and a friend of mine was like, "Yeah, the population doesn't say it's a city." And then I was like, "Give me a second." And then I translated town and a city in Latvian, and they basically is the same word. So I was like, "I'm right, you're wrong."
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I'm from Sigulda, um, and I grew up there. I have an older brother who's like 7 years older than me, and I have a half sister, but I call her my sister because we were that close, and we have a 3 year difference. Um, yeah, there's I don't know. There's not much to say about my childhood really. Um, I had a dysfunctional family, still do have a dysfunctional family. I used to visit my grandma often. She was like my saving grace. She didn't know it, I didn't know it at the time. Um, but yeah, I used to play outside a lot, read a lot of books. Like librarian was my best friend. I was that obsessed with books. By age like 8 or 9, I think I had finished all the like books that we had in the house, even like the boring ones about war and encyclopedias. I remember I read them during the night because I had insomnia growing up. Um, but yeah, that's in short is my childhood.
Okay, I feel like that was a great summary, I guess. Also about the books, damn, even encyclopedias, jeez. No
I
wonder
was a
you
nerd.
have a smart brain. You were feeding it a really good information. um, yeah, well, just like Ligi, I was also born in Sigolda and lived there for almost 12 years of my life. So right now I'd say it's basically half. Is it? Wow, that's crazy. Basically half of my life right now I live there. So I consider myself from there. That's my like home base. Um, we had to move because of the 2008 crisis. My mom and my dad couldn't really get a job in the town. Well, clearly, like for us, yeah, exactly. I see it as a city kind of a thing, but even then, it wasn't big enough for them to find a decent job to provide for the family. So we moved away to closer to my basically to my grandma, who then lived near Riga. So I started my, was it? Yeah, I started sixth grade in a different school. Actually, I have a whole story about schools. Um, but that was the first time we moved to another city. That was pretty terrifying, I guess. I wasn't sure how to like what to expect. I was definitely not very happy. I was really sad because I had really good friends back in Sigulda, and I was also a shy kid, so it was like I kind of knew it's gonna be difficult. Um, Anyways, um, then I we moved again. This time a bit closer to actually live in Riga, um, due to financial reasons again. Um, but it didn't really matter because I was studying in Riga anyways. So it wasn't really a big of a like it wasn't that big of a change. It was big of a change, but it wasn't at that point. I don't know. Um, Yes, and I did. Oh, actually, I did quite a bit of volunteering when I was in secondary school or high school. Um, and I really enjoyed that. That was good times. I feel like that showed me a different world. I think that kind of opened me up a bit more. Even I feel like all the moving around and changing schools actually made me open up a bit more each time. So I felt, yeah, I didn't I don't know, I wasn't just always just the super shy, super quiet kid. Like slowly it was opening up and getting like being a bit more confident and learning a bit more and like having all these nice experiences. So that was nice. And um yeah, and then university came and I moved to Wales, Aberystwyth, to study there. And now here we are, like 5 years later, I'm still in the UK. It's good times. I mean, similarly, as Liggy mentioned, I would say I also kind of had sort of a dysfunctional family. It didn't feel as dysfunctional, I'd say, but there were definitely issues. And yeah, overall, I wouldn't say, I don't know. I don't remember my childhood as being absolutely horrendous. I just remember there being a major struggle with money, there being people having issues with alcohol, and yeah, that's about it, to be fair.
So you mentioned you have a lot of stories about school. Do you want to tell us more about if you had any hobbies, any after school activities you did, or like how were you in school around that age?
Um, Good questions. Okay, so the schools in general, I actually have checked like throughout the foundations of education, I guess from first to 12th grade. I actually changed school basically 4 times, I think. The first time it wasn't because we had to move or anything. It was more like because the school was closing down because there weren't enough pupils there. Um, but that school was very lovely. I think I definitely was part of choir, which was my teenage self is very surprised about that because I was terrified of singing when I turned like when I changed schools the second time. Um, um, what else? I don't know. Actually, yeah, I learned how to play piano. I was part of this little ladies club. I think I mentioned in a previous episode, maybe like drinking tea and talking about. Can't remember what exactly, but yeah. Um, and I think that's about it. Like from hobbies perspective. Um, the other school. Oh, at some point I did go to art school for a year because one of my friends was going there, so obviously I had to go there as well. And for 1 year only because well my parents couldn't afford to let me keep going further on. Um Anyways, I do have like still very fond memories of the art school and I think it was a good time. Um Anyways, the next school, what did we do? I guess I still went to choir a little bit because I don't know, don't remember specifics. I don't think I had major
You started
hobbies really.
dancing as well at some point.
Really? Like in the but like when I was with you, did we go
No,
dancing?
no,
No, it was
afterwards.
afterwards. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, we actually when we studied together, there was this point where we went to what are
jewelry
these called?
making.
Yeah,
Yeah,
jewelry
jewelry
making.
making.
So that was a little activity, I guess. I don't think anything else. I mean, we were just. I think that was the age when you start kind of hanging out with friends a bit more, doing
Yeah.
all kinds of weird things or not weird things. I don't know. I don't remember specifics, but we were just kind of hanging out, I guess. And yeah, and then between the ages, I guess 12 and 16, 15, I did participate a little bit in floristics, um, like floristics course or something that school was providing. I was part of, yeah, I danced a little bit for like a folk dance club because I don't know, we almost got into this song and dance festival, but we didn't. So that kind of after that, nothing, no one was dancing anymore, unfortunately. But what else? I actually between that time I was doing all kinds of stuff. I was in this like careers society kind of thing. This one teacher that was doing it for me and my friend Samantha. It was just the two of us actually. Crazy to think, but it was fun. We were doing all kinds of like personality tests to kind of understand what skills we would have, what kind of jobs we would like to do, and stuff like that. I remember back then I was like, for some reason, I was thinking, oh, I should be a lawyer or something like that because they earn quite a bit and it's like a fancy profession or something. Yeah, and at some point we made some games. We were part of like I don't know, it doesn't make sense. We were part of geography club, but in this geography club we were in this competition where we started making like little games related to yeah, we were in this competition where we had to make a game, well, which was about Latvia's nature. Well, we made the game very complicated. It was never going anywhere, but that was an experience. Yeah, I think, well, me and my friend, we actually started doing some YouTube videos for a brief second. And that's about it. In high school, I was just mostly doing, yeah, volunteering. My high school, secondary school, I chose a direction that was like commercial business area. So I also was doing some mini student companies and like all kinds of things related to that. Like, yeah, and like volunteering a lot. That's what I remember. And trying to go to like free events, like talks and stuff. Oh, that was a long time. Not long time. That was a lot I said about school. But yeah, I actually, oh, that's crazy to think about. I've done so much. So many little
Mm-hmm.
different things.
Yeah.
Interesting. What about you, like?
So I was a weird kid because I loved everything in a way. Um, I'm quite nerdy, as you may have already suspected. But I joined musical school, so I did singing and piano, and I did that for 4 years, and then I had to stop because financial issues in the family. Um, um, yeah, and then we did the jewelry making, and I also did leather crafts. But in the leather crafts, I don't know, it was more about like making like canvases and like cool paintings, but you did it all with like leather, and we'd make belts and like I just remember it was like such a good way to like just like I think that made me fall in love with like DIYing. But yeah, I did leather works for a year, but I stayed doing the jewelry making for I think 3 or 4 years because one of my friends really loved it, and I was like, okay, if that gets us to hang out a bit more, that's cool. I can do it because like I did enjoy it too, and it was like fun, and I could like gift all of these like things that I made myself to like other people, and like they were like so appreciated. They're like, you made this, and I'd be like, yes, and like I remember the point where I learned how to make rings, and I was like so impressed by it, and I was like, I'm so cool now. But yeah, and then after that I really understood how big of a nerd I am, and I joined the checkers club. um, and somehow I never had to pay for it because like the teacher, like he was just so appreciative that a girl is there because he was just mostly guys. He just appreciated me being there and me turning up and showing interest, that he was like, it's fine, we'll teach you for free. um, and then competitions started, and I'd have to be like a part of a team, because like in a team it usually was like 3 guys and 1 girl, because like as I said, there's not many girls wanting to play checkers in their free time. But like it was like cool, and we got to like travel to all these different cities and have these cool tournaments, and I even won some medals, and it was like awesome. um, and then I did maths in my and programming and like everything else on top of that, and I just joined extra classes, and I begged teachers to teach me more. I was like very nerdy, but like I had fun. And then my friends, all 3 of my friends were into athletics, so sometimes I joined them. And I'd be like, oh yeah, I can run too. Like I obviously can't, but like it was fun because like I really tried, and like I'm very stubborn and I won't quit. So sometimes I was like putting all of myself in it and like keeping up with their pace and like actually, and then I'd go home and I'd be like, yeah, I should never do that again. But like I loved it. I just loved my friends so much. um, but yeah, what else did I do? I think that like is pretty much all. Like as Kitty mentioned, I also participated and like had a few student companies, and that was cool, and that took a lot of time. Um, and we also went to like free courses, like for law and for maths, and it was just like fun. Um, it's a fun way to spend a Sunday, to be honest. uh, but yeah, it was like I loved school, and I was quite smart, considered smart because of my grades and because I loved learning and I loved being there. But then again, school to me was my safe place at the time. Um, and I didn't really I didn't like the like social part and aspect of the school because I hated cliques, and I didn't care if like you were popular or not. Like to me, it mattered more how you treated humans. So my friend group were like all of the like loners, and I don't know. It was just like if I saw you sitting there by yourself, I'd come up to you and be like, "Hey, do you want to be my friend?" And I don't know. That's how like all of my friends really got together because I was just like I hated the society, like
Mm-hmm.
social norms, because I was like, screw that. No, because these are cool people. And like, I feel like if I really wanted to, I could have been one of the cool girls, but I really did not care. I really did not care because like all of the guys used to come and talk to me, and mostly because of programming and like I did checkers and I was the only like I just felt comfortable with guys because like my brother is older, so I used to hang out with him, and then like checkers and programming and coding and maths. It's like all of the like things that usually only guys enjoy. Um, so I just felt comfortable, and if anybody talked to me, I was like, yeah, cool, we can have a chat. And like girls envied me for that because I was like
Mm.
one of the bros, but like I never had any romantic relationships in school with anybody. And I remember I had a crush on this guy, and he seemed lovely. And then to pretend to be cool, he started hanging out with the cool guys and started bullying my friend. And I was like, yeah, that's it. You're written off now,
Oh.
pretty much. But yeah, that is
Oh,
how my
man.
school life was. Pretty, yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
hobbies, a lot of activities, just to keep myself occupied, just like Kitty did.
Yeah. Somehow, for some reason, I was like,
Yeah.
I just because I always thought I've never really done anything specific, but it's probably because it's been like all little things for a little while or something. But yeah, I mean, friends wise as well, like I never really had like I wasn't a popular kid in school. I never really had a lot of friends. The only time I had a lot of friends in school was when I was studying with Lee together. So that was the first time I ever had like a little group of friends.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was cool. I liked it. That was good times, I think.
Actually, after you like left and like swapped schools, it's so funny. I started picking up how to like do video editing because I'd like take all of these. I don't know if you can remember, because but I used to email you like these videos of where I'd like film us like the remaining friendship group that like stayed in Sigurd, and I'd make us take pictures, and I was like, this is the team, and like I was like directing everybody, taking either pictures or videos, and then I'd go home and I'd edit them all, and then I'd send like these emails to Kitty, and I'd be like, oh, we're so cool, and like now she knows that we miss her and that she's loved and things like that. Like I think like that was cool.
that was really cool. I think I honestly have to say internet probably is one of the major factors why we're still friends.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because if it wasn't for that, like we wouldn't really see each other that often at all. Like we didn't see each other often at all, anyways. But it was more like we kept in touch. We had these Droge MLW group chats. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like Facebook, just Latvian version. So that's where we mostly, I think, initially started kept communication. Then WhatsApp became popular, and I think that's where we were mostly like having group chats and stuff like that. Yeah, that's actually wow. Yeah, it's good times. It was, yeah. And then I would go for Christmas. Like I would try to go to Seagull back to Seagull whenever I can, and it would usually be for summer holidays or like Christmas breaks and stuff like that. Which one of the things I really liked that we had our own little Christmas day, where we
Oh
felt
yeah,
like it was like a friends' day, where we celebrated
yeah,
together. I think that
the
was a
best one.
beautiful thing.
I think that's why I don't mind Christmas in the UK as much. Because in Latvia, you'd celebrate Christmas Eve with your family, because like that's the like real actual Christmas in Latvia, and then the 25th, 26th, and it's like Christmas Day and Boxing Day here, we'd spend together. So it always
Mm.
like already then felt more special like on that day. So now that like I'm sitting here on the 24th doing nothing, I'm like, that's better than being with my drunk family. So and then I get to see like all my friends on the 25th and like celebrate Christmas with them. It's just like, I don't know, it just like hits home, because like we had so much fun and we'd make all of these delicious foods, and like no parents were there, like, or if they were, they didn't care because like they trusted us because like we were nerds. uh,
Yeah, yeah, we didn't do anything. We never drunk alcohol really until we got 18, and even then, we didn't.
yeah,
I don't think
I
we
think we did it
did.
twice, and
Yeah,
it was with parents in the house,
yeah,
because
yeah, probably
yeah,
like a
but
little
yeah,
glass of something or whatever. But yeah,
yeah. But yeah, it was lovely. I loved like having those celebrations, and then like, or coming over to yours to celebrate the New Year's Eve together. Like that was fun. And even then we made a video about it.
yeah, yeah.
And then we
Oh,
threw a surprise party for Law for her 18th, and we made a video, like 3 videos about it. Like it was fun. Like so clearly, like we've always wanted to like produce something, and like I feel like that's why this podcast, like why we want it to like happen and why we want it to succeed, because of those young us who really wanted to
mm,
like produce something and put it out into the world. And now it's like we have stories to tell, things to work through ourselves, which obviously helps to talk them out. And yeah,
yeah,
I think it's cool.
yeah. No, it's yeah. Like even with some dysfunction and crazy things happening in life, we turned out to be okay, or like turned out to be finding ways how to like use our energy for interesting things that actually help us later down the line. So it's definitely, yeah, it's definitely something. Well, yeah, so I mean we already touched on it a little bit, I guess, the friends part. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I usually had in my first school, I had one very close friend, and that's it. And then, I mean, there were, well, first of all, the school was small, the class was small. There were like, we were like five children in one class, and at some point, I think in the last year of the school being open, we were actually two classes together, and in total, we were like 11 kids in there. Anyways, yeah, and then after that, I think, yeah, when I went to Ligi's school, I knew her cousin from kindergarten.
Yeah,
So, and that's like obviously Ligi was close with her cousin, and they had this other friend. So that was a little group that I already got because I knew one person from that class. I was really lucky actually because I wouldn't know. I really wanted to be in the same class as like my friend from the previous school, but it didn't happen for some reason. Wait, sorry. Um, but yeah, I guess I got three friends instead of that. Three new friends. Uh, but even then, yeah, that was it. Like at least from my side, it was never no one else. Like it was just the four of us. Like it wasn't like I didn't want to be friendly, like friends with anyone else. It just didn't happen, really. I think, like, yeah, no one was. Everyone had their little groups, I guess, or something, and yeah. And then obviously changing school after that, I was a bit scary, but I kind of like I knew this is gonna happen, and I knew I need to survive. I don't know. I was kind of slightly excited for it, trying not to be scared, not being again, just trying to find new friends because I've never really like it felt like I've never really done that before. It kind of happened naturally before, and there I felt like it will probably I don't know how to work for it. And there, yeah, I found again one friend that I stuck to. I mean, well, I hope it was it wasn't bad talking to her. But, uh, um, yeah, it was mostly like the two of us against the everyone else. Not really against them, but it was just yeah. I had my one friend, and that was who I spent the most time with. And sometimes, there would be some other people coming in and out, but I never really felt that I was like really close friends with anyone else besides her. And then I think going to secondary school, that was the first time I felt a bit more confident, and I was like, you know what, this is it. I need to work for it myself. I think even like not work for it because I didn't really. I was like, I'm gonna be open to it, and I'm gonna see how it goes. I didn't want to really pretend like I'm not who I am. I think at that time it would be impossible for me to do that either way, but anyway, somehow I managed to get one friend there as well, and like for the whole 3 years of secondary school, I had one close friend in school. so, so yeah, that's been me. I would say university was the first time I experienced, first of all, male friendships like that didn't have any romantical, um, nothing romantic about it, and then like a real, I would say, it wasn't a solid group because I think the more friends you have, the more drama starts to happen. But um, yeah, that was the first time I had more than four friends, I guess. Because four friends I already had with Liggy, but that was the first time I had male friends, and like it was life completely different. I mean that's me and my friends. Liggy, what do you want to talk about?
Um, when I started school, because I was bullied in kindergarten, because I was like the tallest girl there. And by the tallest girl, I mean I was even taller than the guys. Like there was like, I remember they like put like clouds on this wall to like show how tall each kid was. And like I was like a good like head chunk or two taller than the tallest guy. So they did not like me that much. Um, so I got bullied in kindergarten. So when I started school, I went to the first class. I was like so nervous, but then again I couldn't be because I was like, you can see me, like I can't hide. And my cousin was there, and one of the girls that I went to kindergarten there was there. So I was just like, I'll just be friends with them. So that's how it actually happened. Like I didn't like put that much effort into it. I just clung to the people I knew. And like one of the guys who actually bullied me also went to the same school, but then we kind of became like mates because we were like, you know, we know each other. Let's stick together, kind of thing. Um, and yeah, I think that's just like the friendship group that like I clung on to, and then like I actually became friends with, and like we got real close, and it was lovely. And then in secondary school, I was like, you know what? I can actually try making friends. And I tried and I made the wrong ones. And it was like really toxic, and they bullied me behind my back, and like they made me do things that I didn't want to do. And they were like smoking at the age of 12 and like getting me into trouble. And it was just like a lot of drama. And then I realized, you know what? I don't want this like kind of toxicity in my life, this like drama in my life. I shouldn't be. I think that was the like time that I realized that you can have bad friends, which I think was an important lesson, a lesson that I still have to learn today. Uh, but yeah, so that was quite interesting. And then I kind of went back to, so I still had Kitty as a friend because we were like still talking online and like trying to keep the friendship alive. Um, and then I had Law, like I've known her since kindergarten. Like I literally have known her ever since I was 4 years old. So we were like friends. But I wouldn't say we were like the closest or the like the bestest friends. Like we were there for each other in school. Um, but she'd have her best friend and I'd have Kitty that like I would tell all my secrets and all everything to. Um, and then there were like people who came and went because just like things happened, and then my sister started coming to the school and my cousin's sister started coming to our school. So I'm like all those kind of little girls, because we had like 2 year gap, so I was 2 or 3 years older than them. All of them like kind of spoke to me, and I made friends with their friends, and that was like lovely because I felt like the big sister to everybody. And I remember we had like a code word for like um, sanitary products. So if you're a girl, you understand the troubles in school. So I had two pencil cases. One was an actual pencil case, and the other one was just like full of things that you might need. And if they came to me and they were like, "Hey, can I borrow your eraser?" and I'd hand them my pencil case, it wouldn't look awkward. So any girl in the school, because I was like friends with like these young girls, would come up to me and they'd be like, "Hey, can I borrow your eraser?" I'd just hand them my pencil case, and then with like products, and they'd go and then they'd help themselves, and then they're gonna come and give it to me back, and then I'd always make sure it's like packed, and I'd even put chocolates in it because I was like, so I don't know, I just loved being a girl's girl. But then like in after like end of secondary school and slash high school, I started making like male friendships, and like they were so nice and so lovely, but they were also filled with drama because romantic feelings got involved, and just things didn't work out the way you wanted them to sometimes. But like, yeah, I still miss the guys, and I'm gonna see them when I go back to Latvia, and it's gonna be like all cool, and like it's gonna be fun to see everybody. But yeah, it's hard, as Kitty said, when the group gets bigger, the drama also gets involved, if you want it or not. It's just there because especially when you're a teenager and you have all of this anger and you don't know how to deal with your emotions because you haven't learned. And then in university, I had no friends whatsoever.
Oh, Jesus. The difference.
I I really like I tried, but because I had to like I was working full time, because I was studying full time, I was still meeting with Kitty, which I was grateful that she was there because otherwise like it would have been I don't know what I would have done. And then obviously I was hanging out with people from work, but I wouldn't necessarily class them as friends because we actually wouldn't do anything like that after work. It would just be like walking home together or just like getting drunk and complaining about work. It was never like actual friendship, if you know what I mean. And then I started dating this guy, and so all of his friends were my friends. So it just never felt like I actually made friends. And then COVID happened, and then obviously I couldn't make friends in uni. So I never actually, yeah, I feel like I never made friends in uni, which I'm like not that mad about because for me the like whole university experience was just surviving and getting through it, and I accomplished that, so I'm proud of myself. But yeah, I really didn't do well there. But now I don't know. After that, after like understanding who I am and who I want to be as a person, not necessarily like as a job or a career, uh, I have been successful to like make friends at workplaces now and like build like for me I think quite like strong friendships and relationships that I don't know. I'm certain that like if I were to quit, I'd still talk to them. Maybe not on a daily basis, but I'd definitely catch up with them. And I think I don't know. That's just like that's beautiful to me because it shows that I've actually grown and put effort into things that I knew I was lacking in.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's very interesting. That's very interesting. Good. Good for you. After like after this uni period, where it wasn't very going well, then after that, at least you almost like worked for it double to
Yeah.
get it to a nice stage again. It's like
Yeah, but I think I also realized that you don't have to try to get friends. Because
yeah.
like you just be yourself and you just talk to people. If you're gonna click, you're gonna click. And like if you force it, it just means there's gonna be more drama and like things aren't gonna go the way. But if you can be honest with people and they can be honest with you, that's friendship right there.
Mm.
Like as long as you click and you feel comfortable and safe with each other, that's like perfect. Like yeah, you don't need to try or like force anything anymore because what's meant to be is gonna be.
It's gonna be, yeah. No, that is perfect. Yeah, I always had this because I always had this one friend. Usually in school, I would always feel like that. I always in my life have this one person at least that's like the main friend. It's hard to say. Um, um, So I never like, yeah, I never imagined I would have like a group of friends. I never knew that I could do it, to be fair. So, but I think uni proved me otherwise. But then again, I did realize how important it is to really, like, I started noticing people's vibes, if I may say so. And I would, maybe it's sometimes prematurely, but I would feel that, like, okay, I can't, like, this person is nice, but I don't think I like, it's like, I'm not, this is not my person. I can't, like, even if I wanted to, like, it's just not working, like, it's not going naturally. So I think I'm still kind of like living by that. Like, if I'm feeling like it's not really, I'm probably not gonna put too much effort in it. I don't know. Maybe it's not the best way. But then again, I do have like, I have so many really good friends now. It's just like, okay, maybe they're not right next to me all the time currently, but everyone's adult now, so it's not school times where you're always hanging out with them anyways. So I'm not too bothered about that, but yeah, I do see myself. Maybe I should be a bit more, I don't know, open to it. But I don't think I'm against it. I'm just, on one hand, I'm like, I have plenty of friends. I don't really need any more. So it's not like I'm actively looking for anyone. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm closing myself some doors. I don't know. It's hard to tell. At workplaces, while in university, I used to work in McDonald's. I had no intention to make friends there at all. And I didn't. No one really hated me, as far as I know. I didn't really hate anyone else as well. I was just working, but I wasn't like, I would talk to some people during work time, but I was really not putting any effort in it.
It also felt like a, because I also worked in the same McDonald's, it felt like a very like intense environment. Like it didn't feel like, oh, I can actually make friends. Because it was like, yes, you
Yeah, it
would
was
speak to people,
fast.
but because it was so intense and like so chaotic, like you just, like you'd speak to people, but you, nobody like expected you to become friends. And like, I don't
Yeah.
actually think people made friends there.
I don't know. I feel like there were a lot of people that were like at work that were really friendly, and I don't know. I thought they were friends, but I think another thing is the fact that it was uni time, so maybe it's just because everyone else, they had friends outside work anyway. So again, no one was really trying to get more friends, I guess, or something.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a weird place and weird time.
mm, for
Talking
sure.
about time, do you have any dreams for the future, Kitty? Or any like goals or aspirations or anything that you'd like to accomplish?
um, do I have any dreams, aspirations? Of course I do. I think it's like in my DNA is to get a better life in many shapes and forms. At some point, clearly you can see by my choices, choosing to study in commercial, secondary school, like to study more in depth business and stuff. I'm chasing the money. If you might not notice it, I think I always had at the back of my head, okay, I need to do something in my life where I can earn more money. And I think only in recent years I realized like it was a good decision on one hand because I think it has got me where I am now, but I know that it's not like obviously money is not the only thing you need in life. Even though feeling safe and secure with what you have is a major, major bonus. And not being scared that you don't have proper food to eat or like you can't do anything. Um, so yeah, I would say I'm still kind of I'm not gonna lie, I'm still chasing more money. I do want more money in my life. Maybe like not in a bad way. Like I want to earn it with something that I'm really passionate about and like I'm really enjoying and that I'm like giving some good value to the world and helping some other people. What it is right now, I don't know. I don't have the answer. What I'm doing now is pretty good. It's pretty interesting and there's major growth opportunities, which is great. But yeah, we'll see where my life leads me to. Otherwise, well, we're doing podcasts, so I mean, obviously, I think Lucky's going to say the same thing. It would be cool if the podcast goes to somewhere. In general, not just about the money, I would would love to be a business owner, not sure what. But yeah, I think I've always had this like, oh, I want to be a business owner. I want to do something like for myself. It's very interesting. And it's all about money. Sounds like it. It's not. It's really not. Um my dreams and aspirations is really be to be able to be truly myself in any situation that I'm in. To feel confident in myself without needing other people's approval or like validation for it. To feel really secure in that and beautiful life with beautiful people. Just like good times, good vibes, living in the moment. That's what I guess that's what I'm going for right now. Like living in the moment, doing what you love, just like being this little star in the sky that gives happiness to everyone and myself. What about you?
Um, so I don't know. I've realized that I sometimes forget that I have two sides to myself. Um, just like I was speaking about like hobbies during the school time, like I have the like creative side, and I also have the nerdy side, and I have forgotten about my nerdy side for a while. So that is why I'm gonna try to go to open uni in October. And now that I'm putting this into the universe and I'm putting this into the podcast, I now have to. And I'm gonna hopefully be doing maths. And I know it's gonna be like tough for me because I'm gonna have to again work full time and study. But I feel like this time it's gonna be worth it because like I'm so passionate about it and like I love maths and I um, my boyfriend got me like a maths quiz book for my birthday and it's like my best like the best gift I've ever gotten. Cause like I just sat there being hungover and I was doing maths quizzes. Like it is my passion and like it connects me to my grandma. So I just feel like it's something I need to do. Um, and I'm sad that it's like taken me this long to realize that, but you know, it's fine. Uh, at least it happened. So that is my goal, like for this year, to like start studying maths, and then whatever happens, happens. Because I just know that like I can then become whatever, or at least I'll be happy for those few years that I'm doing the maths, and then I hope that in the meantime I realize what it is I want to do as my career, because it is hard to like connect these two sides that I have, the creative side and the nerdy, very analytical, very sciencey side. I still wanna publish a poetry book, self-publish it this year, because I think that would be very, very cool to like say that I'm a published author, a published poet, um, and that's something I don't know. I would be very proud because I have so many poems that like I share on like my socials, and it would just be lovely to like have a physical book with me, and like I could like gift it to my friends and like I don't know, have it on my bookshelf and maybe send them to like the library that I always went to and they can have like a piece of me, and I think that's just like so special. So that is for this year. I really want this to like put more time and effort into this podcast because I feel like it's good for us and hopefully it's good for you guys and you can take something away from it. And I don't want to really talk numbers because like I'm already impressed. We have like what 15 followers. Like how did that
Oh,
happen?
do we? I don't even know.
I just saw this number magically grow and I was like, wow. I
That's
feel
amazing. Well,
I feel so special, like so honored because like all we do is just talk about our lives and our opinions and what we've learned in technically such a short period of our time because we're only like 25. If you've only been like adults for what like 5 years, it's just
mhm.
we feel honored that you guys are actually listening and following us and interacting. And just if you have any suggestions or anything, just like feel free to like message us. We're always going to be happy to like answer to your messages. But yeah, and I think I also want to I know that I will want to move away from Aber at some point. So I want to do a bit more of like traveling around and like seeing different cities and different towns, and just so I could decide where I want to settle, because I want to build a family one day, and I don't think Aberystwyth would be the best place. It's very good for like my personal growth and me figuring things out for myself, because it's like quiet and it's beautiful and it's picturesque and it's lovely. It's just not lovely enough for a family because it's so far away from everything. And I just want my children to have like opportunities to go to free courses if there are free courses in maths. And I don't think Haber is gonna be a place for that, sadly. But yeah, that is my dreams for the future.
Oh, they were very specific. I'm liking it. It's good. Yeah, definitely. I'm excited for you to be in uni
Yeah,
again. That's gonna be good
yeah.
times.
Thank you, thank you. I'm sure I'll have fun.
Yeah.
Expensive fun, but fun nonetheless.
Yeah. You were yeah, you were mentioning something about a poems book and stuff. Yeah, that reminded me that I did mention this to you. I would like to write a book sort of about my life, but like about my family up until now, even if it is just for me. And
Okay.
yeah, I might like I first I'm gonna go to therapy first to talk through. Even though I've been to therapy before, it was more about like recent happenings instead of my whole life. So I think yeah, it's gonna be a very interesting thing to do. I know it's
I can't
like
wait
I
to
mean
read it.
yeah, it's gonna be. I mean that's what I'm saying. Like I might just like write it and then like print it just for myself.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, but I think that's quite a cool thing to do, isn't it? To say, oh, I've written a book. That'll be cool. Well, that's us in short ish, because there are so many things we can dive into a lot deeper,
Hmm.
which will
Do you wanna
probably
do you wanna end this with quick fire questions?
quick fire question.
Yeah. So,
What?
what is your favorite color?
Oh, I would say like oh, what's it called? Mustard yellow, but bright, brighter than
Oh,
dark mustard.
okay, okay.
What is you? Oh, should I ask you something else, or you're
You can.
answering question? Okay, let me see. What is your favorite plant?
Okay. So, see, I'm such a difficult person because I have, for example, I have three favorite colors and I have three favorite flowers. But then if we include bushes and trees, it like grows. Like I'm very specific. I know what I like. So, favorite plant, it's a difficult question for me. But like if it's spring flowers, it's tulips. If it's summer flowers, it's peonies. If it's autumn, it's sunflowers. I love succulents. If it's a favorite bush, it's a French lilac, and if it's a tree, it's a willow. I'm like
Oh,
prepared. I've been
yeah.
thinking about these things a lot.
I actually have that. I mean, I think a birch is one of my favorite trees.
Oh, I love how they look like in spring because they're
Yeah,
like oh, so
yeah.
pretty.
And it's
Okay,
like,
what's your favorite
yeah.
animal?
Oh, God, like a pet animal or like judge in
Just
general?
an animal in yeah in general.
No idea. I'm not like, I'm really bad with these. What's your favorite thing? Because I'm like, I like a lot of things, but it's not like I have one thing that's like specifically I like. For some reason, I feel like someone asked me this not very recently, a couple months ago, and what came to my mind then was a giraffe.
Okay,
So I'll stick to that right now.
I can see that.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't know why though. I don't like I've seen a giraffe in the zoo, but like I don't know. I have like not much connection to the animal itself. I don't know. It's weird.
yeah, yeah.
What about you?
I really love penguins. I watched a whole like TV show based around them. It was cool. I don't know. There's something that I'm like, I feel like I'm one of them. Because they're like
Yeah.
quite like human like sometimes, because like they build friendships and like, sometimes like if their partner dies, they're gonna go and commit suicide because they're so sad. And I just that just speaks to me on some kind of level, on a very messed up level. I'm just like, I'm a penguin.
Oh, I mean, I like penguins too. They're nice,
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. Okay, so maybe this is gonna be easier for you. What is your favorite book or a book that has moved you recently?
Well, this is very easy because I do have a book. Oh, so my read latest book that really got me. Initially, not really, but it took me a while. But anyways, once it got me, it really got me. It's The Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. It's about it's about like college age, university age kids living in a magical world where there are dragons. So it's magical world because there are dragons, but like, and yeah, yeah. That's I don't want to say a lot more. If you're into dragons, or if you're kind of like Harry Potter, you might really enjoy that. Yeah. What about you?
Um, I read it last year, but it like really moved me and it really messed me up in a good way. It made me like think about relationships and like mothers and like just I don't know life in general. It was Colleen Hoover's It Ends With Us, or and it start it yeah it ends with us. That's the first book, and it's just like everybody should read it. Like honestly, everybody should read it. And then if you like the first one, read the second one because it actually has a happy ending. Sorry if I spoiled the
Oh.
whole book. But you know, I that like yeah, I remember reading it and I was like, I think I read it in a day because like I was so obsessed with it and I was just like, oh my god, it's such a good book. It was yeah, it did something to me and I think it's one of the reasons why I stopped being depressed.
Oh wow.
Like
Okay.
a lot of things happened in like 1 month for me
Mhm.
in my life. Like I started reading like books and this one was one of them. I started like watching TV shows and I just realized how life my life is my life and like I'm the one responsible for it. And like if I want to be sad, I can be sad, but if I want to be happy, I at least have to try. So I started trying and I realized it's actually easy to be happy, which is like so weird and bizarre because I was like depressed for all my life. And obviously, like things have changed for me and they've gotten better, and I've escaped toxic environments and like things like that. So it's not like it's magical and it's that easy. I've been working and I've been doing therapy, so I was just really like, yeah, it's a good book.
Yeah, so it's already on my reading list now. Oh, okay. What's your favorite beverage?
Honestly, water.
Yes, me
Yes.
too. Who would have
Yeah.
thought that years ago? I mean, I've always been into water, I would say. Well, not
Yeah.
always, actually. Maybe when I started kind of dieting and realized that there are a lot of empty calories and a lot of stuff. So.
Yeah, no, water has already always been my like favorite food because I remember I was on a date with this guy once, and he was like getting a steak out, and he's like, "What kind of drink would you like?" And I was like, "Honestly, could I just please have some water?" And he like looked at me like I'm crazy, and I was like, "What? It's my favorite drink." And he like, yeah, we didn't work out. Surprise, surprise. But like water, it's underrated. Like it
Yes.
isn't, but it is.
Yeah. Yes, for sure. It is so funny that I'm at this point where I would be in a restaurant and we would have a glass of wine, and I think it was a New Year's Eve. Yeah, so we would have a glass of wine, but then I would also ask for a glass of water. And when I drank that water, I was like, "Oh my God, it is so good." And I actually said that out loud. My partner looked at me like I'm crazy. But yeah, like water hits different, guys.
Oh, it does.
It's
And
good.
you can have it like add flavors to it because you can have some lemon, you can add like cucumber water is great. When it's summer, mint. Oh, so good. So good.
Right now, I'm into some essential oils. Like if you have good quality essential oils, you can add that. and yeah, it's also like all kinds of flavors. But you have to don't just pour any essential oils, please. Just research, okay? If you can take them internally. Yeah, yeah, it's a good time. Okay, should we finish it up?
I think so. Yeah, we've chatted
It's
for
been a
long
long.
enough, like always.
Yeah, we just can't do it shorter. We can do it longer.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, yes, guys, please let us know like what is your ideal like listening time? Like would you prefer like them to be much shorter, like 30 minutes, or are you happy with them being an hour long or sometimes hour and a half, like we have done them in the past? It's just yeah. And do you like that we're just like conversing to each other, or would you like it more structured? And yeah, just let us know all of your thoughts, all of your
Yeah,
feedback, and
exactly.
don't
Because we
be
can
like
also cut them in pieces or something that seems like certain topics and maybe have them shorter or something. Yeah.
yes. So don't be shy. Let us know your thoughts. We'd really appreciate to hear them. And as always, thank you for listening. And we'll see you and speak to you again next month.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.